You too, what up, cut? We back, bruh. You feel me? Thinking to this video, I was not expecting this to get brought back up ever, to be quite honest. Karmelo Anthony trial. Lawyer says victim side supports self-defense with a knife. I guess.
Trial has started for Karmelo Anthony, the teen accused of stabbing the other teen at a high school track meet. Jury selection started today. Apparently, the judge has made strict rules, which include no live streaming in the courtroom, no videos in the courtroom. They have to ask permission to use their laptops in the courtroom, but we're still going to be covering it and breaking it down because apparently the defense for Karmelo Anthony has been laid out.
Back now to our lead story, which is jury selection beginning in just a few hours in the trial of a North Texas teen accused of stabbing and killing a student athlete. 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony is charged with the murder of Austin Metcalf. Trevor Sohaki is live for us this morning outside the Collin County Courthouse this morning with the very latest on this case. And Trevor, this case has actually captured the national attention, particularly on social media, too.
Yeah, that's right, Carmen.
Forgot all about this. I'm not gonna lie.
Over stand your ground laws, race, and lots of misinformation on social media. In fact, there's been so much tension, threats, and controversy that the judge issued a gag order last year to prevent either side from discussing the case. Now, police say this stabbing happened at a Frisco ISD track meet in April of last year after a verbal confrontation between Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. A witness told police that Anthony came over to Metcalf and others in a tent on the bleachers. The 17-year-olds went to different schools and didn't know each other. Metcalf told him to leave. Then
see, that's why bruh. Even if that's what, okay, you don't know this nigga don't know you. This nigga tell you to move. If the nigga don't want to move, you do not gotta stab the nigga. That shit's so unnecessary. Like what?
Metcalf. A witness told police that Anthony came over to Metcalf and others in a tent on the bleachers. The 17-year-olds went to different schools and didn't know each other. Metcalf told him to leave. Then Anthony reached into his bag and said, "Touch me and see what happens." One witness said Metcalf touched Anthony, and another witness said Metcalf grabbed Anthony. Police said that's when Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away.
Okay, see, but now you gotta look at it like this, though. If that is the truth, if that's the truth, if a nigga tell you, don't touch me, if you touch me again, I'm gonna fuck you up. And you think this nigga bullshitting, and he touch you again, I'm not completely sure if that's self-defense. I mean, he like put his hand on you or like pushed you or something. I don't think your life gotta be in danger to really hurt somebody or kill somebody on self-defense. That's the only way to act, like get away with it. Your life has to be your life has to be in physical danger. I don't think your life is in danger, but this is also a regular case of fuck around and find out.
Metcalf was taken to the hospital where he later died. Anthony was later arrested and charged with murder. According to a police report, Anthony admitted to the stabbing, claiming it was self-defense. He's currently on house arrest at his parents' home. Now, jury selection will begin at 9 this morning. Collin County District Judge John Roach is not allowing any live streaming of the trial inside the courtroom, but we will have a reporter inside that room at all times. We'll bring the very latest updates as they come in.
Quick pause, because this might actually...
nigga, no, I don't think so.
Sometimes it's people like you stay more on top of their finances. Now, with any case that is black and white, whether the attacker's black, the victim's white, or the opposite, it's going to cause controversy and division throughout.
Hell yeah, it is, bro. Motherfuckers see something happen to a black person from a white person, they automatically assume it's because they black. Like with police situations, a lot of times it do be because they be black, but it also just be motherfucking black people do be doing shit. You know what I mean? Like I can't even sit here and lie. A lot of black people get pulled over and the situation be this and they put it all the way up here with it. Like y'all motherfuckers be doing too much sometimes. Y'all crazy ass niggas need to calm down. Y'all be doing too much. But then sometimes black people do be getting shot and shit by the police for no reason. You know what I mean? That shit, nothing like that don't happen. And it is proven white people can get away. From what I've seen a lot more white people get away with acting crazy towards the police than black people, but we're not even gonna get into that. That's not from the video.
It always does. And a lot of people have come to Austin's, you know, I don't necessarily want to say defense because he's no longer here, but a lot of people sympathize with the victim, and a lot of other people sympathize with Karmelo, saying this was actually self-defense. Now, I covered this case a year ago, and I titled it "The Case of Karmelo Anthony: Lies, Race, and Deceit," and we'll just play a little bit of this just to show y'all what it was then.
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before, where you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? You getting ready to run track with other
That
kids,
is true.
You got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail.
And I'll say this.
That is a Charleston White W right there. Charleston White, you cooked with that one. I cannot disagree with that, kid. I can't argue with that.
Normally at school, the responsibility of defense does not fall on you. That's why schools have school resource officers. And again, bringing a weapon into school, if this was a valid argument, then kids would be able to bring guns to school because, hey, I'm in fear that the school might get shot up at some point.
Talking about he had a knife. You damn right. If you a black man living in America, you better be walking around with a talking about he had a knife. You got white boys riding around with guns and y'all crying about a knife.
The hard part on me is I lost my son, and his brother was holding him, trying to hold the blood in, and he passed. My son watched his brother die in his arms. I need a break.
Oh.
Jeff, first of all, my entire heart rests in your hands. I would be in my position, not even as somebody even knew your son, but somebody that it shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young
nigga like Charlie Kirk.
I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around.
Oh, whoa, brother, man. Let me tell you something, right? Let me stop you right there, big dog. That is not what you supposed to say, gang. That shit sounds racist as fuck. You was terrified for your life around black people because they were robbing and killing and doing. My nigga. See, that'd be the problem. This is why racism starts. Because, motherfucker, you make it seem like only black people rob and shoot niggas. White people shoot niggas too. White people shoot white people. White people rob white people. White people rob crackheads. Like, nigga, it's... You can't, bro, this is insane to say on camera.
But somebody that it shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand.
Saying this in front of a nigga is crazy work. What do you mean? We not finna sit here and act like only black people rob and shoot niggas. Come on, bro. Like, that's just what we not finna do. We not finna act like the majority of crime on earth is committed, or it might be committed by black people. I don't know, but motherfucker, we not finna act like black people are the only ones that be doing shit. That's what we not gonna do. I can't let that slide, bro. That's crazy.
Understand, as I was a father, you could sit idly by and not.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Somebody should swung on that nigga for saying that stupid ass shit.
Condemn the culture.
That's crazy.
Your son.
Are you done?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the problem, my friend.
So clearly,
yeah, I grew up scared around black people because they were killing and robbing people. Nigga, white people kill and rob people. What the fuck is your point?
You can see the division in this case, right?
Bitch ass nigga.
Dr. Umar saying any young black teen should be carrying a knife to school because there's white boys riding around with guns. And then you're going to have Jake Lang
I can't agree with that.
Black kids are the ones doing the most murders and using the most illegal guns. I mean, they just came out with something, I think it was in Maryland, where they're banning Glocks because Glocks, you know, they take, you know, you get a little switch, you put it on the back of a Glock and it fires automatically. And Glocks switch.
Well, wait till you get an FRT. Then what you gonna do? You put them motherfuckers on any gun.
Switches aren't really popular in gun shops and this and that because the vast majority of Americans cannot own a machine gun. Glock switches are popular in drill culture where everyone's talking about shooting switches, and it's like you don't really see a lot of white kids in drill. So the thing is, you have race baiters on each side of this situation. And what it needs to get brought back to is not everyone in their fucking opinion and feeling valid that their opinion is correct. It's the fact that two teens got into a confrontation. One lost his life. Now, again, Dr. Umar says white boys are riding around with guns. This is Austin and his brother, and they have clearly hunting rifles. And this is a common thing for white boys to do in Texas. And then pictures like this hit the internet of Karmelo Anthony. And, bro, they try to blow this out of proportion. First off, this was a BB gun, and he's with a whole bunch of other white kids in this party. What teenager hasn't taken a picture like this before? You got a lot of
shit, nigga, I got plenty of pictures like this. I got too many. I can't even count. But I ain't gonna lie. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. This picture does look crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like this, this looks a little insane. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy.
Grown men that still take pictures throwing up the middle finger. So they try to make this kid seem like he was thug nasty, as if he wasn't at a track meeting because he also ran track. They try to make the other kid seem like he was the best kid in the school, you know, whatever. And that's why everyone just started doing the whole race bait shit. And again, social media was able to portray this however they wanted to based on the bias
social media,
of the
bro.
person posting. And obviously things heated up even more when a GoFundMe raised $500,000.
Oh,
and it wasn't just the amount of money, it was what the donators were saying. Keep doing what you do, young man. You are an anti-bullying hero, a scholar, and a gentleman. While Black Excellence would comment nothing, just donating again, the more these hateful whites show their insecurities and fragilities of losing dominance. Sending love, light, and justice to King Karmelo, speaking full exoneration.
Okay, see, without the case being over and not knowing exactly what happened, that is crazy to say. This shit right here is low-key kind of insane to say. The case is not over yet. We don't even know what the fuck if this nigga, if it was self-defense or not.
Over your name. And then things heated up even more when Karmelo went in front of a black judge who reduced his $1 million or a little bit more than $1 million bond down to just 200 and something thousand, and he went home on house arrest for murder. But nobody would race bait this case more than Minister Dominique Alexander, I think his name is, who, when Austin's father showed up to meet the family of Karmelo, more or less just to say, look, I forgive your son, Dominique basically got him kicked out of the event. He got the victim's father kicked out of the event. Austin's father, Jeff, has been making headlines himself as he attempted to make peace with his son's killer's family and pray together at a press conference held for Karmelo. Instead, he was escorted out by police, with Karmelo's family apparently uninterested in making amends.
What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. That was...
I'm not trying to cut this nigga off, but I feel like I've seen this nigga somewhere before. This nigga look very, very familiar. I don't know what it is.
Disrespectful and just shows you all the character.
Now, these are Karmelo's parents. They look presentable. They look well dressed. But this fake fucking MLK right here is a whole bunch of bullshit. Because this man who calls himself a minister and an activist and all this other extra shit, looking at his criminal record, he has felony injury to a child, forging a check, leading police on a high-speed chase, stealing a car, falsely claiming a car was stolen, offensive physical contact, probation violations, felony theft, felony assault causing serious bodily harm, misdemeanor assault, continuous violence against family, theft, making a false police report, evading arrest. And if you don't believe me, I even have the official report from when he beat I believe 2-year-old baby. The baby was in the intensive care unit when he was
Put this nigga in jail. What the fuck? Nigga, what? Put this nigga in to give this nigga the death penalty. Kill this nigga. What?
examined by the doctor.
You can't do that,
the
what
baby
the-
had a
bruh,
subdural
hell no.
hemorrhage, blood around the brain between the halves of his
Hell
brain
no,
and the
that's
sac of the brain.
crazy work.
He also has retinal hemorrhages in both eyes, which is bleeding in the eyes. These types of injuries are seen in trauma with rotational forces. The severity of his injuries is not consistent with rolling off the couch, which is what the minister said happened.
Oh my God.
The injuries are acute and likely occurred around the time that complainants started to have symptoms like being unresponsive. Without more adequate history of trauma, complainants' injuries are more consistent with abusive head trauma and child abuse. The child was 2 years old at the time of this offense. So this guy became a fucking activist when he was the one actively beating kids, beating women, committing crimes.
That's crazy work.
And of course, he's just gonna blame it on the fact that he's black. He never actually did any of this shit.
See, that'd be the problem with certain black people.
But in reality, on paper, this is the type of piece of shit he is. So he is trying to represent Karmelo Anthony, which set off a chain reaction.
That's making it look worse, bro.
To this. And of course, he tries to take advantage of the Karmelo Anthony case, represent Karmelo and their family, when in reality, he's a piece of shit.
Profile Dallas civil rights activist Dominique Alexander being accused of domestic violence.
Yeah, Alexander has a history of violence. Fox 4's Ashley Freitas joins us live with the very latest on these charges. Ashley.
Tim and Hannah, good morning. Yes, Dominic Alexander is in jail this morning on 2 counts. One is aggravated assault, the other aggravated assault, serious bodily injury, family violence. Now, one is a felony, the other is a misdemeanor. Yesterday, he was arrested and charged. Alexander has a history of violence. He was convicted of shaking a 2-year-old baby in 2011 and received probation. He was
crazy
arrested
work.
in 2016 for violating that probation. Then in 2017, he was arrested in Denton on a theft charge. Alexander is a well-known activist in Dallas, protesting several high-profile police shootings, including this past year against former DPD officer Amber Geiger. He was also part.
So this is my thing, right? He beats women and kids. He doesn't have a male victim in any of his cases from what I've read. He beats women and kids, and then to get the attention off of the type of man he is, he puts himself in the situations where he grabs a mic, a loudspeaker, gets in front of people, and he speaks out on people that have been shot by the police because he knows that he can use the rage the community is feeling to make himself appear like a better person.
Yeah, you're an asshole, bro.
For the community. I'm doing this for the community. Meanwhile, he's causing hell in his own
piece
house.
of shit.
So there are many reasons why this case has reached the level of publicity that it has. A lot of the people involved have their own ulterior motives. A lot of people are using this to just spew their own racist or prejudiced views against each other. Again, another situation causing division, but apparently a possible defense method has been released that Karmelo may be using in an attempt to beat this case. Attorneys for the Texas teenager accused of fatally stabbing a 17-year-old at a track meet are likely to focus on the size difference between the two during his murder trial. Karmelo Anthony, 19, was charged with murder after Austin Metcalf bled out in his twin brother's arms during a track meet at a stadium in Frisco, Texas. Anthony and Metcalf, both 17 at the time, had gotten into a confrontation during a rain delay at the sporting event after Metcalf called out Anthony for standing under a tent that did not belong to his school. They exchanged words before Anthony allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf. He fled the scene but was soon tracked down and arrested. Anthony, whose family launched an online fundraiser to aid his legal battle, has pled not guilty and is claiming self-defense. During his trial, which is set to begin on Thursday, Anthony's defense team could possibly zone in on their client and Metcalf's contrasting sizes as a way to prove self-defense. Anthony is 5'9" and weighs 130 pounds according to the arrest report, while Metcalf, who played football, was 6 foot and weighed 200 to 225 pounds.
Oh shit, that's a big boy right there. Hey, Karmelo Anthony, you built like me, gang. We skinny niggas on top. Even though I can't fully support you yet, my nigga, because I don't know if you did it or not. So, I mean, nigga, if you dead ass just stabbed a nigga for no reason and it's not self-defense, I ain't gonna lie, I can't get down with it. That's not cool. But if it was self-defense, good to you. But skinny niggas though. know what I'm saying? Built like me.
Now, I don't know about Texas, but in Florida, the size of a person has absolutely fuck all to do with if it stands your ground. You're not just able to be like, oh, he's bigger than me, so I stabbed him.
I ain't never heard of that before.
They're gonna ask you, okay, well, if he's bigger than you and y'all had a confrontation, why didn't you run away? It says in the arrest that Karmelo stabbed him in the chest and then ran. Why didn't you just run away to begin with? Why did you have to stab?
Cause he ain't want to look like a bitch. That's why.
Him first. If you're that in fear of his size, why not remove yourself from the situation? Well, people are gonna be like, oh, well, he has the right to stand his ground and this and that. That's true though. You do have the right to stand your ground. And if someone puts hands on you, you have the right to defend yourself. But the level of force has to equate to the level of force being used against you. If someone pushes you, you can't stab them or shoot them. You can push them back. Someone punches you, you can't just obliterate them. That's not how self-defense works.
Fuck no, it's not.
Now his attorney also—
Nigga, if you could just punch somebody and get shot for it and then get self-defense and get off scot-free, you know how many niggas would die? Niggas already don't fight. You know how many niggas wouldn't fight today? How many more niggas wouldn't fight? If a nigga just punch you one time and you just, boom, what? Oh my, and you can get away with it? Oh Lord, but it be Gotham City in this bitch.
said that the self-defense argument could stand up in this case, even though Anthony was allegedly the only one with a weapon. The question is, what's a weapon? Case law has said that a shoe can be a weapon. Your hands can be a weapon. A bottle can be a weapon, the lawyer told the Morning News.
Motherfucker, he had a knife.
Access to the $500,000 from the GoFundMe, because this doesn't sound like a fucking, $500,000 lawyer here. Shoes could be a weapon, Your Honor. Hands could be no, you're not getting arrested for having a concealed shoe. You're not getting arrested for having automatic hands. You're getting arrested for having guns
and a knife,
knives, bats, brass knuckles, shit like that, right?
That's
those are weapons. When you use that on somebody, that is a fucking weapon. So for him to be like, oh, is the knife even a weapon? Yeah, dumbass. He also noted that self-defense could be a valid argument if the victim who was killed was approaching the other in an aggressive manner or put their hands on him. According to the arrest report, a witness said that Anthony sat under the tent belonging to Metcalf's team. Metcalf told Anthony to move, and Anthony replied, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf then touched him as Anthony said, "Punch me and see what happens." If I reasonably believe this guy is about to attack me, and I know if I'm being attacked by him, he could kill or seriously injure me, then I am justified in using whatever defense mechanism I need to preserve my life. Texas is a stand your ground state, which means a person can legally use deadly force if they believe they are in danger. Not just in danger. You can use deadly force if you believe you're about to die. That's it.
Yeah.
Not just you're in danger. Otherwise, kids.
That's what I said at the start of the video, my nigga. You have to be on the verge of death. If a nigga is not about to remove your life from this earth, you cannot kill that nigga, bro. That's just not how that works. You can, you just not gonna get away with it.
Each other left and right every time there's a fucking fight. Like what I don't understand. Are they trying to put weight classes on high school fights? Oh, he was an inch bigger than me and 10 pounds bigger, so I shot him because I was scared. You're not even allowed to have a knife on school campus. You can't have weapons there.
Yeah, he had a knife at a school event or a track meet.
He had the right to do it, but he shouldn't even have had the fucking knife.
Hell no.
Goes back to what Charleston White said. How were you that in fear for your life that you had to bring a knife to school and you couldn't have just contacted or told your parents and they could have contacted the school? How is it justified if you were in that much fear, you premeditatedly?
I gotta agree with that, bro. I can't argue with that.
You're not provoking self-defense. You can't reach in your bag and be like, touch me, see what happens.
Yeah,
that's provoking. You cannot provoke in a self-defense case. I can't grab my gun and be like, do it. And then when you do it, I blow you the fuck down. That's not self-defense. When police tracked down Anthony and took him in the car.
It's just like the Turtle Builder situation. Everybody was in my damn comments on Instagram talking about some, nigga, you just because you provoke something, words provoke you, that don't mean you have the right to do this and do that. Shut up. And just because you get punched in your fucking mouth, doesn't give you the right to kill a nigga. What the fuck?
Last year, he told an officer, "I'm not alleged, I did it." He made the statement as the cop told others that Anthony was being arrested for the deadly knife attack. "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." Anthony told the cops as he was handcuffed at the stadium. Metcalf bled out in his twin brother's arms after he was stabbed. More than a year on from his sibling's death, Hunter walked across the stage and accepted his and his brother's high school diplomas during a graduation ceremony on May 21st.
Hunter Metcalf will accept the posthumous diploma in honor of his brother, Austin Metcalf.
Now, I want to immediately point this out. Black woman here. There's another black girl here. There's
they're
a black
clapping for
guy
bro.
here. There's a black employee here.
They're supporting him.
In honor of his brother, Austin Metcalf.
Look at how many black people are clapping and supporting him on the behalf of his brother. This girl right here, she's happy. He shouted out for him. He was clapping. They're all black. So you can't say this is entirely a race thing.
Hell
It's
no.
not. It's a matter
Bro,
of
everybody trying to make some shit about race and it's not. That shit's so fucking annoying too. Cause y'all try to find any way to make some shit about race. Like, I mean, god damn, y'all motherfuckers love making shit about race.
what's right and what's wrong. You're gonna have people supporting things for all of the wrong reasons. You're gonna have people who, if he deserved it or didn't, automatically support or denounce him based off of his race.
Yeah,
That
bro, this
is
shit
the
ain't cool,
problem
bro.
here. Because clearly in this crowd, you can see a group of people who are clearly black supporting him for taking that diploma on his brother's behalf. And that's why all these race agendas need to stop. We need to view things for what the fuck they are. If it's a clear-cut crime committed, you cannot just denounce the crime and be like, yeah, whatever, you know, but he should get off because he's black. And it should be the other way around too. If a white kid does something,
the only
he
way,
shouldn't
bro.
just get off because, yeah, whatever, no. It has to be respected both ways. Otherwise, these fucking examples of division are always gonna keep popping up and it's gonna cause racial tension. But seeing everybody that was clapping for him, that's a beautiful moment. And it just goes to show you that no, everything in this world isn't as black and white as we think it is. You do have people that support each other regardless of race.
Yeah, bro.
You do have people that
Anybody that's a
sympathize
regular
with each
human with a
other
brain that's not a piece of
regardless
shit understands
race.
that.
Now, what do I think is gonna happen in this case? I'm not sure. I know I'm gonna be covering it. Do I think
Yeah, we're gonna be keeping
was
up with it.
self-defense for him to do that?
No, not
In
really.
all honesty, I don't. Because a fight is a fight. And there has to be a clear distinction of what fear is. Because the softest kid in school, he's scared every day. He's scared of everything, you know? So if you just walk up and push that kid, that doesn't give him the right to kill you.
Nah,
Again,
bro.
self-defense, you have to be under the impression that you're about to die or suffer serious harm. That's the reality of it. And not for nothing, yeah, you can stand your ground. You don't have to run away, but sometimes the best thing to do is move and get the fuck back if you know you're about to get smashed. So it's like, if Karmelo felt like he wasn't gonna be able to beat this dude during a fight, whatever the situation is, does that give him a right to stab him? He wasn't getting beat to death. He never got punched.
Nope.
And he went in his bag and said, touch me and see what happens. For that, I don't think that's self-defense. But
I don't think there's anything they can say to make that self-defense. There's nothing his defense can say to make that self-defense, bro. They niggas going to jail again. I ain't gonna lie. That boy cooked. He wasn't even supposed to have a knife. He didn't even get punched. He got pushed, I think. And you stabbed him, bro. That's not self-defense, game.
Gonna have to wait and see how this case plays out. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments. And
Yeah, y'all heard my thoughts. That nigga going to jail, bro. Hate it for you, gang. But, yeah, I'm finna get up out of here, though, squad. Let y'all boys like, comment, subscribe if you ain't no bitch.